Samus lived with her parents on the planet K2L, a human colony in the Galactic Federation domain. When Samus was only 3 years old, K2L was attacked by space pirates led by the brutal monster Ridley. When the space pirates left and the smoke cleared, a sole survivor remained standing. Samus was rescued from the charred ruins of K2L by the Chozo, a technologically advanced race of bird-like beings. They had received the colony's distress signal during the attack and came to assist. The Chozo took Samus back to their homeworld of Zebes. The Chozo later crafted a power suit for Samus that gave her incredible strength. They trained her to become a fearsome warrior. When that training was complete, Samus parted ways with the Chozo and became an intergalactic bounty hunter. Samus carried out countless missions, many that other bounty hunters deemed impossible. She became the most famous and capable bounty hunter of them all, yet she was not fulfilled. Samus did not desire fortune or fame. Her purpose was to avenge the death of her parents by destroying Ridley and the space pirates. Before long, that opportunity would arise. Samus was summoned by the Galactic Federation, the sovereign government of a group of civilized planets. Zebes, the planet where Samus was raised, had become the space pirates' base of operation. The Federation ordered Samus to infiltrate the planet and eliminate the space pirates, along with the mysterious floating life forms called Metroids. Metroids are able to absorb energy from other creatures, and the space pirates intended to use them as bioweapons. After battling her way through countless creatures and space pirates, Samus finally defeated her nemesis, Ridley. She destroyed Mother Brain, the organic central computer of Zebes' ecosystem and leader of the space pirates. Samus narrowly escaped the exploding pirate base and completed her mission, unaware of the powerful new threat about to emerge. No one knows when Phaaze was born, a planet completely unique in an infinite universe, unlike any that came before it. Phaaze was alive, a conscious, sentient being. Every century, Phaaze launched Leviathan seeds towards distant planets. These Leviathans had the ability to generate wormholes, allowing them to travel across galaxies. When a Leviathan strikes a planet, it creates a Phazon core that emits a powerful, mutative toxin called Phazon. Over the course of years, Phazon corrupts the entire planet, at which point the planet is reborn as a clone of Phaaze. For Samus, Phaaze would quickly become a prime new threat. As fate would have it, some of the space pirates also escaped the explosions of Zebes. A group of them leave in search of a power source to reinforce their soldiers with. They discover Talon 4, a planet struck by a Leviathan from Phaaze. The space pirates begin using the mutagenic properties of Phazon to experiment on living creatures. Samus is summoned by the Galactic Federation to travel to Talon 4 and investigate reports of this space pirate activity. Nearing the planet, she intercepts a distress signal belonging to the space pirate ship Orpheon, which is in orbit around Talon 4. Samus enters the ship and quickly discovers the cause of the distress signal, the Parasite Queen, a giant mutated creature born from the space pirates' Phazon experiments. Samus defeats the creature, but it falls into the ship's reactor, causing the frigate to burst into flames. Samus loses most of the functions of her power suit while escaping from the Orpheon. During her escape, Samus encounters her nemesis, Ridley, genetically rebuilt after their fight on Zebes. Ridley flies off to the surface of Talon 4. Samus gets back to her ship and pursues him to the planet's surface. While exploring Talon 4, Samus discovers the ruins of a fallen Chozo civilization plagued by the effects of the Leviathan impact. By scanning inscriptions, she discovers that the Chozo had tried to stop the spread of Phaaze and believed that a savior would one day arrive to complete their failed mission. Samus finds hidden items on the planet that restore and enhance her power suit's functions, almost as if the Chozo knew she would find her way there. She decides to destroy the source of Phaaze along with the last of the space pirates, but the task is daunting. The Phaaze across Talon 4 radiates from the Phaaze core, located at the bottom of the impact crater where the Leviathan landed. The only entrance to the crater depths has been sealed by the Chozo in a final attempt to contain the disease. The mystical lock can only be opened using 12 artifacts hidden across the planet. Samus scours the planet for these artifacts. She endures many battles against terrible foes and overcomes countless cryptic challenges. The powerful bounty hunter finally obtains all 12 artifacts. When Samus returns to the crater to unlock the seal, she is confronted by Ridley, the last hope of the space pirates. Samus crushes Ridley by exposing a weakness in his chest. And with the last of the Chozo's power, defeats her nemesis and opens the entrance to the crater. Deep within the crater core, Samus encounters Metroid Prime, a Metroid that mutated into a terrible creature by absorbing enormous amounts of Phaaze energy. Metroid Prime attacks Samus, and a fierce battle ensues. During the fight, a powerful ability hidden within Samus's suit emerges. Empowered by the will of the Chozo, Samus harnesses the power of Phaaze to overwhelm and defeat Metroid Prime. In its final desperate moments, Metroid Prime grows unstable and attaches itself to Samus's Phaaze suit, tearing it from Samus before exploding. As Samus looks out over the destructive aftermath of her battle with Metroid Prime, it seems that the Phaaze threat has finally been eliminated. But this was not the case. After Samus departed from Talon 4, the few remaining cells of Metroid Prime began to secretly multiply using the genetic information stolen from Samus's suit. Little did Samus know, the deadly chaos of Phaaze would echo far beyond Talon 4. At about the same time the Leviathan landed on Talon 4, another Leviathan arrived at a different planet. The name of that planet was Aether. Aether, where a prosperous species called the Luminoth had settled, faced unprecedented danger due to the crash of the Leviathan. The impact divided Aether into light and dark dimensions. Dark Aether was home to a brutal, ruthless species called the Ing. Eventually, the Ing began to cross into the other dimension and attack Light Aether, where the Luminoth had once lived in peace. Samus is sent by the Galactic Federation to Aether to investigate the disappearance of a squad of soldiers. The Federation troops had been in pursuit of space pirates in the area before communication with them was lost. Upon arriving at Aether, Samus is soon attacked by the Ing, and most of her suit's abilities are stolen. She continues her exploration and finds that the missing soldiers have tragically been killed by the Ing. Investigating further, Samus meets Umos, the chief of the Luminoth, and learns just how dire the situation is. Umos knows that Samus is the Luminoth's only hope for survival and asks for her aid. She agrees to eradicate the Ing and destroy Dark Aether. If all of the planetary energy is restored to Light Aether, then Dark Aether will cease to exist. Samus acquires an energy transfer module that enables her to transfer energy from Dark Aether to Light Aether at temples across the planet's different regions. Samus travels to Dark Aether to combat the Ing horde. While battling the Ing, Samus is confronted by Dark Samus, her mirrored form that emerged from the remains of Metroid Prime on Talon 4. Dark Samus has come to Aether to absorb Phaaze and gain power. Samus, able to travel between the light and dark worlds with the technology of the Luminoth, repeatedly does battle with Dark Samus, the Ing, and the space pirates who are harvesting Aether's Phaaze to use as a power source. Over the course of many battles with the Ing, much of the planet's energy is restored to Light Aether. At long last, she arrives at Dark Aether's stronghold, the Sky Temple. Samus enters the Sky Temple and confronts the Emperor Ing. After a fierce battle, she defeats the Dark Leader, withdrawing the last of Dark Aether's energy, which destroys Dark Aether once and for all. As Samus attempts to escape the crumbling dimension, she is once again confronted by Dark Samus, whose form is now complete after absorbing more Phaaze. Samus and Dark Samus engage in an epic battle while Dark Ether crumbles. Samus uses Dark Samus's own Phaaze energy against her and destroys her evil counterpart. Once the battle is finished, Samus returns to Light Ether, barely escaping disaster. The revived Luminoth hail Samus as a heroine for their people, and the bounty hunter departs after a successful mission. But Samus's victory was once again short-lived, for the corruption of Phaaze was only beginning. Although peace returned to Ether, the space pirates continued to harvest Phaaze from the planet. Little did they know, particles of Dark Samus that floated into space around Ether took notice of this activity. Dark Samus infiltrated one of the pirate ships and made her way to the Phaaze storage bay. There, she quickly absorbed all of the stored Phaaze, allowing her to be reborn. While searching for Phaaze to increase her power further, Dark Samus detects the faraway planet Phaaze, the original source of all Phaaze. Upon reaching Phaaze, Dark Samus absorbs an enormous amount of Phaaze and vows revenge against Samus and the Galactic Federation. Dark Samus plans to gain control of the Aurora units, the organic supercomputers that are the hub of the Galactic Federation data network. These Aurora units are installed at key Federation bases and on important battleships. She attacks the Federation battleship Valhalla and steals the Aurora unit. She then installs that Aurora unit on Phaaze, causing it to be infected by Phaaze. The infected Aurora unit allows Dark Samus to control Phaaze, giving her the ability to choose when and where to launch the Leviathans. Dark Samus sends a Leviathan to the space pirate homeworld and places all of the space pirates under her control through Phaaze infection. Meanwhile, the Aurora unit infected with Phaaze sends a Phaaze virus to the other Aurora units in the Galactic Federation. The Federation disconnects the other units from the network and begins working on a vaccine. Placed at a disadvantage, the Federation establishes a base of operations in the battleship Olympus, a Federation ship orbiting the planet Norian. In order to deliver the vaccine to the Aurora units and investigate the cause of the virus, the Federation summons 4 highly skilled bounty hunters: Samus, Gore, Rundus, and Gandreda. Admiral Dane, the commander of the Olympus, and the 4 bounty hunters meet aboard the Olympus. While planning their strategy, a group of space pirates led by Dark Samus suddenly attacks Norian. At the same time, a Leviathan appears from a wormhole and flies towards the planet. The only way to stop the Leviathan is to reboot Norian's defense system, which has been knocked offline by the space pirates. With the help of the Galactic Federation soldiers equipped with PED suits, a new weapon that converts Phaaze energy into offensive power, Samus and the other bounty hunters are able to stop the space pirates and destroy the Leviathan. However, before they can reactivate Norian's defense system, Samus and the other bounty hunters are attacked by Dark Samus, who suddenly appears in the control tower of the defense system. The bounty hunters are knocked unconscious, and Dark Samus's Phaaze energy is planted in their bodies. A week passes before Samus regains consciousness in Medlab Delta on the Olympus. The Galactic Federation gives Samus and the other hunters these PED suits so they can utilize the Phaaze in their bodies. The Federation asks Samus to eliminate the Phaaze cores that Leviathans have formed on the planets Brio and Elysia. She is also asked to administer the virus vaccine to the Aurora unit installed on Skytown, a floating city created by the Chozo located on the planet Elysia. Although the other 3 bounty hunters had already embarked on this same mission, none have been heard from since leaving, and they are presumed missing. The Federation also asks Samus to investigate their whereabouts. Samus first heads to Brio and enters Hyper Mode, a state of increased power fueled by Phaaze energy. But if Samus becomes overloaded with Phaaze energy, the corrupted cells will take over her body and mind, placing her under Dark Samus's control. Samus learns that the other 3 bounty hunters have already lost their will to Dark Samus and are completely under her control. She reluctantly defeats the corrupted bounty hunters Rundus and Gore, destroys the Phaaze core on Brio and Elysia, and administers the vaccine to Skytown's Aurora unit. The Galactic Federation receives a communication capsule that Gandreda sent prior to becoming corrupted. From this capsule, the Galactic Federation learns the coordinates of the space pirate homeworld and that a Leviathan has landed there. Admiral Dane gathers a fleet of battleships and relays to Samus that they're heading to the pirate homeworld. Samus ventures onto the space pirate homeworld. The Phazon contamination in her body is progressing as time passes, and she doesn't have much more time before she is completely corrupted. There she encounters Gandreda, the last corrupted bounty hunter, and defeats her. The Galactic Federation fleet arrives, and Samus asks them to lower the defense shield that protects the space pirate base. Samus makes her way to the Phazon core with the help of Federation soldiers. When she reaches the core, she is assaulted by her nemesis Ridley, who has been rebuilt once again and strengthened since their last battle. After a vicious fight, Samus dispatches Ridley and destroys the Phazon core. Samus and the Federation fleet travel to Phaaze. The space pirate army is guarding the planet, and a fierce battle breaks out between the Federation fleet and the space pirates. During the battle, Samus lands on Phaaze alone. The high concentration of Phazon is almost too much for her to handle, and it's only a matter of time before she's completely corrupted. Dark Samus, now at her most powerful, appears before Samus as she heads to the core of Phaaze, and the two superpowers engage in battle. Dark Samus joins with the stolen Aurora unit to further increase her strength. Harnessing the power of Phazon with her PED suit, Samus finally destroys Dark Samus and the infected Aurora unit, which also destroys the Phazon infecting Samus's body. When Dark Samus is destroyed, Phaaze begins to collapse, and Samus races to escape the planet. Admiral Dane orders the Federation fleet to retreat through the open wormhole, which disappears just as the last ship in the fleet flies through it. Samus narrowly escapes and broadcasts a final message to the command screen of the Olympus. Mission complete. Samus's ship flies off into the depths of space, the threat of Phazon finally eliminated. But was her mission truly complete? From the depths of space, an old adversary pursues Samus's ship, a threat that will test the bounty hunter in ways beyond her past missions.